What's good, YouTube? It's your man BG Tech Life, and as you can see, we got the Pixel 9 Pro XL on deck, guys. And it's 4 months later. Yeah, it's been 4 months already. And this device actually has some new competition on the scene. And I want to talk about, can this device actually keep up with newer devices with the Snapdragon Elite like the S25 Ultra or the OnePlus 13? Let's get into it. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. For the last 4 months, my experience with the Pixel has been solid as it's ever been. It still has the same old Pixel aesthetic where it's just my favorite type of phone because it's like I'm a real nerd for Android. So for me to feel like I'm fulfilling my requirements to be an Android nerd, I have to have my Pixel on deck. Then second of all, this is one of the best point and shoot smartphones on the market. You can take a picture with this device and Google's computational photography is gonna make that picture with the processor look amazing. Now when it comes to these smartphones, their sensors, their camera sensors are only so big. So it's only so much you can do as far as taking a picture. Now Google's computational photography with its big algorithm of information, take that picture and make it look amazing just off the point and shoot so easy. And that's one of the things that I love about this device. Now also, we got a new design this year. Now I'm not gonna say a completely new design, but the camera bar has changed to a camera island. The sides have flattened, and it's just kind of like an improvement on the Pixel aesthetic. It doesn't look like it's not a Pixel anymore. Still looks like a Pixel, but more cleaned up and more futuristic. And I really like the design. Before anything, the design and the looks and the renders and the leaks of this device had me before anything else. Before I knew anything else about this new Pixel, I was like, it just looks amazing. And included with that design, I've really been liking this flat display. The flat display looks wonderful. I like how the display on this Pixel is probably the most vibrant display I've seen on the Pixel, and the display being flat make it easy for things like screen protectors, and also the vibrancy of the display just is make it perfect for watching content. That's why I definitely made sure I grabbed the Pixel 9 Pro XL because I like to look at this screen. I like to let my YouTube videos play, look at it because it's bright, it's vibrant. It just looked really good this year. Probably the best display on the Pixel yet. Now with all that being said, guys, we are 4 months into this device, and this is a device that comes out towards the end of the year. So while this device is out, during this device's shelf life, competition changes over. We've already got the OnePlus 13 out and the S25 Ultra on the way. And one of the main upgrades to both of those devices is a new processor from Snapdragon called the Snapdragon 8 Elite, which is just a very powerful processor. The processor is actually like 30 to 40% more powerful than a processor that was in a previous generation. So it's real performance gains in those devices. Now, when we talk about the Pixel and performance, we're dealing with the Tensor, which is Google's own processor. They've been making it, and it has been struggling in the past. This year, the Tensor G4 was actually decent. I haven't hit a ceiling yet with this device. I haven't had any thermal issues. I haven't had any glitches. This device has been very smooth and on point for everything that I want to do on this smartphone. At times, rendering small little videos and small little edits to reels and stuff that I make, I noticed the render time is just a little bit more, but everything else is very smooth with this device, so I don't mind. Now, as far as keeping up with the competition and the newer devices, I will say that the only thing that the newer devices have on the Pixel 9 Pro XL is processing power. So that depends on you as an individual what you want out of your device. If you want a device strictly for gaming and the most processing power that you can get in the device, then you probably gonna want to go with one of the Snapdragon devices. But at the same time, guys, the Tensor G4 is still operating really good. Even though it doesn't have the highest benchmarks with insane scores, it's still a device that you use on stock Android 15 that's really fluid, just chooses to be more smooth, and I like that feeling moving around the phone. I hate using the word buttery, but that's how it is using Android 15 on the Pixel. So as far as performance go, I feel like it's a use case type thing, guys. It depends on what you do on your cellular phones. If I put this Pixel 9 Pro XL in 100 people's hands, 90 people wouldn't notice any performance difference between this device, the S25 Ultra, or the OnePlus 13, because they're not utilizing their smartphones in that way. So if you're somebody that prioritizes stock Android, you like the updates, you like the smoothness of Android on a Pixel, things of that nature, you like computational photography, being able to point, shoot, take amazing pictures, you like the aesthetic, you just like the look of the Google Pixel, you could still pick this device up and not feel like you behind, because 9 times out of 10, a lot of that power that comes with a processor like a Snapdragon 8 Elite, you're not going to utilize on your smartphones, because we really don't utilize our smartphones in that way. The Tensor G4 is plenty enough to get whatever you want to do done on a smartphone 95% of the time. At the same time, I could look at it from a different way, and I just want to put this out there because I like to be transparent with y'all. These are just my feelings. You can have this device and be unbothered because it performs good enough for whatever you need to do right now. But also, right now, if I had the choice to buy a device, I also have to think, how long am I going to keep that device? Because when you got an incredibly powerful processor, that leads to longevity. If you got a processor that's powerful enough to handle everything that's happening today, that's cool. But we always developing apps, AI is developing, different things are coming down the pipeline, and more powerful software is coming down the pipeline because developers are always developing. So with that being said, I think sometimes having a stronger processor does work out in your favor when it comes to longevity. Like if I had to keep a device for 5 years, I would want the most powerful thing available now, so 5 years from now it could still be decent. When we start developing and getting new apps, features, and software, we don't know how much that's going to draw or how much performance that's going to need, and it may make this device skip a beat a little earlier than a device with a Snapdragon 8 Gen Elite. And that's just something for y'all to think about, something I want to put on y'all mind also, so I could be fair and transparent. But 4 months later, this is still a device that's going strong, with the great pixel aesthetic, with the great computational photography, the great design, and a processor that's handling its business. But I know as I make this 4-month review, a lot of new players have entered the game, and I had to give y'all my thoughts. So it's your boy BG Tech Life. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Make sure you like the video. These are just my opinions. Voice your opinion in the comment section. I'm out. Peace.